All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. Morning. Jim, unknown trader, Joan, Daniel, David. How are y'all doing? Wasn't in too big of a rush this morning, being preliminary GDP reports coming out at 8:30, so I saw some chop every time I'd pass by the charts. I was like, yeah, not much going on right now. Doctor, good morning. See what happens after this news. Preliminary GDP, unemployment claims. You see how that just spiked like that? Yep. I don't like that. Hopefully everything that comes out kind of aligns together instead of give mixed signals and it just go one direction after the news, after it settles down. And hopefully it doesn't settle down and then stall. That would not be fun too. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, David, that'd be nice. It all lines up and just goes one nice, pretty direction. With a simplicity entry, of course. Or some type of entry. About 10 minutes until then. We never crossed 12,000, but we got pretty close. At one point, 12,053. Yesterday, it looks like. 12,033 looks like we got down to at one point. Of course, we start getting down there playing around that close to that 12,000 area. That's a huge level. Morning, Vegas. Look at that. See, we have a simplicity going right before the news. 50 tick chart breakout. It's all the way up to the +7 deviation. Got a little mini magnet ZOI going on here on the 30. A little crash. Pretty close to a crash. There. Way down here on the 0.25 deviation, we got a red eye block, ice, and the deviation there. That's about it for now. Obviously, I'm not going to take anything right now until after the news. Nice. That's good. You had a green day. Have you traded the Euro session before? I think you said you do that, right? I think I remember you saying that. Off and on, yeah. Curious. Yeah, it looks like the open was a little bit choppy. But about 420, look at this. Up here we had a 4-bar chop, breakout bar, and 3 more bars down. One pretty nice run there. About 430-ish, 420. Curious if there was a simplicity entry. There's a nice one there. There's that drop. And dang, that thing just shot down too. That was about 2 minutes. I usually have about 5 days loaded on my 30 tick. I think right now I have 6 days because yesterday, sometimes when I open my 30 tick, it only loads 1 day and I have to change the days. So yesterday I switched it to 6. That way it'll load them all. But yeah, I usually keep about 5. My 10 tick, I think I keep, it's either 2 or 3. 2 on my 10 tick. I'm sure I could go to 3, but got about 2.5 minutes or so to the news. Man, I don't know how many of you are in my Apex Trader Funding Facebook group. I just opened it up while I was waiting, and man, every day there's so many spam posts. Jeez. I probably delete and ban at least 30 a day, minimum. That's probably still not everybody. All right, we got about another minute and a half. All right, should be coming out any second now. All right, news is out.
Double cluster NQ. Double cluster NQ.
Looks like the GDP number came out lower than expected. 2.7% expected, 2.9%. Da, 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 da. Looking for the unemployment claims.
Double cluster NQ.
Our jobless claims came out 192K versus a forecast of 200K. Lower than expected on that as well. Which, that needs to be opposite for the Fed to be happy. All right. Let's give it a little bit of time. Get out of this dark zone. Market didn't get too crazy on us. Let's see and make sure there's not going to be a delayed reaction or anything. Oh, look at that. We just had a burger right here on the 10 tick. That would have been a nice low risk bounce right there. Burger including a 30 tick mini magnet. That's a sweet burger right there. Lori would have loved that one.
Potential TX on NQ.
I would love to get a reset on simplicity here and then go short. I don't know if that's me asking too much, but yeah, if we can get a reset in this area right in here and then get a short below, that'd be nice. I probably won't be taking a simplicity entry this morning, maybe, depends, but because you see how wide the gap is between the simplicity lines. If that changes, like back here, then I will. But if that stays kind of like this the rest of the morning, I probably won't, because you can see the distance right now between price and the solid line. Looking at a good 20 points or so. So right, that tells me right now simplicity entry may be around a 20-point stop, which I don't like. Yeah, I'm willing to risk a little more, 10 to 15 on a great entry. And the reason why I'm okay with 15 is because a lot of times after the entry happens, you can tighten that up. You know, most of the time, if you take a good simplicity, it's not just going to shoot up against you right away. Most of the time. I would really love a reset in this area. But if this ends up breaking short and just going on a nice trend, I will take an LRE pullback without a reset. As you can see on the 30 tick, chop, look at that. Screaming at me to do not trade right now. Wait until we clear up. Basically need it to break below this COI or above this mini magnet. It's kind of my zone, no trade zone right now. Right here at this cluster, we have at 12,200, 148 orders sitting there. 12,200. Right here. There's a 30 tick cluster. So that's why it keeps bouncing that area. There he goes. Ate him up.
Potential TX on NQ. Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Now there's 4 orders left sitting at that 12,200. From 148, it went up to 149, and now it left 4 orders sitting there. 6 orders. All right, I'm going to go ahead and refresh my dynamic magnets and mini magnets, or flux levels. Yeah, we got a couple
Potential OP rejection on NQ.
couple of them got added on there.
Double cluster NQ. Potential TX on YM. OP rejection on NQ.
Current high. Prior. Dollars prior. So right now we're at yesterday's high of the day. It looks like. $12, 190, 50. No.
Trap
All right.
orders with exhaustion box on YM.
See if this thing can break short. I'm only saying short because right now that's the current setup. Simplicity right now. Never reset. Wish it would have. Never reset. But let's see if we could break the bottom and come back up and test that area for a LRE.
Double cluster NQ. Potential TBS on NQ. cluster NQ.
So I want to point out we have that burger here. We hit it once, came back up to it pretty close twice, 3 times. 4th try, busted. Look at that. Might be setting up a simplicity long here if he can bust this COI. But looking left, we got cluster here. We've got cluster here, cluster here. Few Xboxes in this area, so it may hesitate. If this breaks the COI, though, I may take a long. If we get an entry above it.
Potential TX
Because we got, there's a nice target up there. That 240 area. That's if we get an entry. Oh, there's a reset now, though, at least. Got a reset. So we'll see where it goes from here. I am not biased in either direction at the moment. Not getting any signal either way. Any strong signal anyways. Targets in both directions, though, whichever way it breaks out. 240. If it goes short, have these double ZOIs down here. It's kind of where I target, either down here or up here.
Potential TX on NQ.
Yeah, for my simplicity entries, I always use a 20 tick stop. Because 15 ticks is just, even 20 is a lot of times too tight. So sometimes as soon as I enter, I'll enter with a 20, and sometimes I'll pull it back and I'll end up being around 30 ticks. For my initial stop. I might be flipping back short. Let's see.
Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Yeah, exactly. I'll hide behind an order print, or if it's just, if the entry is, I shouldn't be too much more, the stop shouldn't be too much more than 30 ticks anyways, or else I shouldn't take it. So if I hop in and have a 20 tick stop and there's something pretty close, or the solid line's pretty close, I'll just pull it back and I'll be between 20 and 30 ticks for a stop. The only downside to that is if I do pull it back and and I'm down and I'm risking 30 ticks and it does just come back right away and knock me out, I lost 30 ticks. I can't really take another trade. That's the only downside. That's why, for my simplicity entries, I do try to wait for the best ones and make sure I don't need much more than a 20 tick stop for those reasons. Of course, you definitely can't do that after the open. You have to give it way more room than that. That's why after the open, if I do trade after the open, I don't take simplicity entries unless if it's on YM. I'll just take the LREs. Unless if for some reason the market's not moving very much and it is an actual smaller stop. Otherwise, you do have to give it more room and really go to like a couple micros. Yeah, that's definitely the downside. Like I had one, I don't know if y'all remember a couple weeks ago, I took that one where the entry, the stop was just too big and I didn't really pay attention and it ran down and just shot down, knocked me out at like 43 tick loss. That was it. I was done. All right. So we got the reset here. It started looking like it wanted to come down. But then of course it didn't. So I'm not sure if this will come because we have, looking at the 30 tick now, it's maybe laying a mini magnet if this closes up. Initially, when this bar was down here, it looked like there was going to lay a mini magnet on the deviation level. And I liked that to push short. But then it just kind of flip-flopped. So not interested in anything right now.
Potential TX on NQ. Potential TX on YM. Potential double TX on YM. Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ. Double cluster YM. Potential TBS on NQ.
So I do like this mini magnet on the 30.
Orders with exhaustion box on YM. Double TX on YM.
That it just laid pushing it up. I'm waiting to see if it can break this ZY up here. I'm probably gonna go long. If it stays, if it gives this simplicity entry. Technically gave an entry there, but I don't like it underneath that ZOI.
Double cluster NQ.
Order filled.
See, I have about a 9-point stop set right this second, so hopefully it'll go up enough so I can move my stop up and then give it some room. We do have an Xbox on the 30 tick though. Don't like that for the moment, but I like that mini magnet on the 30 tick that it laid while pushing up. We do have that dynamic magnet, so I'm hoping it doesn't hit that and kind of stop. Uh-oh. Might be laying a mini magnet on the 30 there.
Potential TBS on NQ.
Yeah. Hope that dynamic magnet doesn't hold it from going. And see, now I could put my stop up a little bit more. I know y'all can't really see my simplicity chart that great, but keeping my stop under that ZOI on the 10 tick though for the moment. I don't like it's trying to lay that mini magnet on the 30 right now. So at that dynamic magnet. If we could bust that dynamic magnet, I'll probably move to break even. Okay, there we go. Actually, I'm going to move underneath this COI that it just laid. Now I'll go to break even just in case if it can't break that dynamic magnet fully, because it went up 20 ticks. There we go. Now I'll go under the dynamic magnet. Trailing the dashed line at the moment. My target would be 240. Don't know. We do have a wall up here at 230.
Potential OP rejection on NQ. OP rejection on NQ.
See if we can go up and at least hit this wall at 230. Then I could tighten up some more. Don't retrace and knock me out. All right, it's giving back quite a bit here. May not. Okay, knock me out. It gave back quite a bit, but I'll look for an LRE now. Because I only got out with 12 ticks there, and I was up 40 ticks at one point. The issue was I didn't tighten up because I had that target up there. And it was still not too close to it. So I didn't want to tighten up too soon. This was pretty close to being an LRE. thing is, on situations like that, you can't get FOMO and say, you know, I wish I would have done this or that or tightened up too soon. Because you gotta give it the room that it needs and let it work. See, if I would have left it at break even, I would have been fine, but I don't. It went up 40. I want to secure some. I wish I would have actually secured at least 20 ticks. That's what I do. But I had reason to stay where I was because you see it struggled breaking the dynamic magnet. So I wanted to stay under the dynamic magnet in case if when it came back down and tested it, it'd bounce and go. But came and got me. And now there's a cluster on the 30 tick, so. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a wrong, I don't think, you know. Because if I tightened up here and then all of a sudden it ran up to my target, then I would have said, oh, I wish I didn't tighten up. So just never know. I mean, it's just the way it goes. A pullback would be above the dynamic magnet. I still like that target up there, that 240 area. So let's see if we get a pullback. I don't like that the 10 tick is in kind of a ODD state. But I don't like this cluster on the 30 now right here. Let me see how many orders. The orders are pretty evenly split, so. Oh, man, yeah. Better than going negative on that, Jean. If we build up some HD here on the 10 tick, that'd be nice. If it pulled back to the dynamic magnet with some HD. But it's kind of building up some obstructions. I kind of want this to break this wall up here first and then give us a pullback and then take that up to that target. And see, by doing it this way too, I mean, I'm technically not following the simplicity exactly because, you know, I like to usually be tighter. Because if I was following the solid line, I would have never gotten stopped out. But I do this because, yeah, I got knocked out here. But then if this breaks up, I could take another LRE and eventually get to my target if it does go there. But with less risk of and not sitting in choppiness, you know. It's not fun to sit in choppiness. Yeah, Mark, you can't really always, you can't get perfect entries and exits all the time, so all right, go a little bit above, further up. Because right now the 30 tick has this X box with a potential mini magnet there. 10 tick has ODD again. Still in a upward trend, but there we go. I'd like this to see this go a little longer. There we go. Wiped out that Xbox on the 30 tick. Yeah, I'd get it from the wall. I may still consider taking it just below the wall also. As long as it doesn't drop back. Because right now an LRE would be down here. Like if we can clean some of this out and give something nice down here, then I'll take it back up. But, you know, we've got these clusters and a lot kind of going on here. So I really just kind of need to see what it looks like. If it chops, if it's still choppy on its way down, then no. But if we can get a clean sweeper leg, then some kind of setup down here where there's an LRE to go, that'd be better. Unless if it could just go further along and then pull back to the wall. Like that. It didn't quite hit my target, so if we can get a entry somewhere down here. Yeah, Tony, I took a trade a little bit ago. I was up about 40 ticks on it, and then I got stopped out with a 12 tick profit. Hoping to get an entry before it goes up there. And that's the downside, too, when you have a target. It doesn't always just get there very clean. I mean, if I was just sitting in simplicity and following the simplicity rules, it wouldn't be so bad. But because of my money management and all that, I don't sit in them. Giving back that, I actually gave back, probably 20-something ticks, 25, 26 ticks on that simplicity I took. And that's a lot more than I usually give back. I just had my read was this would go up to about that 240 area, and it didn't quite go as clean as I wanted to. So I gave it a little bit more room than I usually do, but it's all right. Locked in 12. This pulls back to the wall now. I would like to take a long off the wall. I don't like that they're setting up these 3 clusters here on the 10 tick, but if we could pull back and give something nice off this wall. Okay. Looks like we're making a All right. It went through my target now, so that kind of sucks. Never really gave me an entry back to my target. I mean, hey, it might just keep going and give another entry. Nice, James. So you stayed in that whole simplicity. That's awesome.
Potential TX on NQ. Double cluster NQ. Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Nice. That's awesome. Good job. Yeah, that pullback behind right here behind this dynamic magnet's what messed me up. Because it broke through this dynamic magnet and ZOI it took my confidence away that it would keep going. Because it struggled to bust through, and once it finally bust through and tested it, usually it'll test it and then go. But this time it tested it, but also pierced through it and then went up and go. So as you can see, my stop was right there with that ZOI. It's a pretty nice move long. Depending on what it looks like, if we pull back, if we pull back to this 241 area, I may take a long off of it. Because that'd be the first pullback and test of that level. Because it broke through pretty nice. It did leave double clusters on the 10 tick. So it probably won't come back down to it and just bust through short. I mean, it could, but there may be enough to get a bounce off of that. Well, depends on what the chart leaves up here.
Potential TX on NQ. Potential OP
Lorex short right there on the 10 tick.
orders with exhaustion box on NQ. OP rejection on NQ.
That would have lost. Yeah, this thing's on a mission right now.
Potential TBS on NQ. Potential TX on NQ. Potential double TX on NQ.
hopping in this pullback because it's bouncing off that level. Looked like it was going to set up a Lorex, but it knocked me out. It had HD, but it's pulling back more. Dang. Okay, this is probably the pullback here. It set a new dynamic magnet, but I think this one's going to come back and test that mini magnet up there up top. So I don't think this is ready to come back down yet.
Potential OP rejection on NQ.
I'm keeping this one tight because I just took that loss. If we can break right above these little clusters here, we can go back up to that mini magnet on the 30. And then that's where I'll take my profit. Just trying. Knocked me out. All good though. That's a wrap for me. Cluster popped up on the 30, up 16 ticks for the day. Yeah. That cluster on the 30, so it wasn't that great. This pullback here, I jumped the gun. I was thinking this wall here would hold up because it's such a strong trend. You can see this mini magnet up here. It'll probably go up to it, but it's such a strong trend that these order prints will typically hold up better on the 30 tick. But as you can see, this is where I originally wanted it to pull back anyways. So that's why I was okay jumping back in, even though I normally don't jump right back in. Jumped right back in. It's probably see it's going to go now, but it got a little nasty, and there's quite a bit there to be okay passing that one up. But also we had 300% going on here, and then we had that cluster pop up on the 32. So it's okay. I'm okay just holding on to those 16 ticks today. Yeah, it's already 9:18. See, now it's pushing long, but it's kind of it's going that direction. It's just not very clean this morning. So, I mean, that first one, yeah, I could have hopped out at my 40 ticks, but the way it started to go, it looked like it's going to be a lot cleaner. But as you can see, even going back to simplicity chart, look, the lines are clean, but look at the bars. This is where I got in the first time. Look at the bars. A lot of red and green kind of choppiness making its way up, but you know, I don't really like that much. So, all good. That'll be my day. See you, Vegas. So, profitable day. So I'm good with that. Good with being in the profit. But price and market didn't move quite like I like, so we'll take that. I'll take that. All right. Well, I'm gonna hop off here. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Everybody that's going to be trading after the open, trade well, and I will... Oh, you know what? I'm actually not going to be able to trade tomorrow. I won't be on tomorrow. I have to take the kids to school in the morning. So I'll see you all Monday, though. I'll see y'all Monday. Y'all take care and have a great weekend.